Oh, there's the boss. Welcome back to another episode of Things and Stuff, and today we're going to be playing Path of Exile. It is a free-to-play game. The only purchases that are actually in the game that you can buy are cosmetic or things that help maybe give you more storage. So it's not pay to win, do not worry. It's a really fun game, and we're going to get into it, and I'll explain some things. So first off, I made a brand new account because I wanted to just kind of take this through as if one of you guys would be playing this game, and you guys wanted to see what it would be like starting off brand new. Having stuff was a quick test just to see where I should put my camera on the screen so it doesn't block any information. So we'll go to create. The nice thing about Path of Exile is as they introduce more updates, more patches, more expansions, they also introduce these events. And events, if you play them, starts every single player off brand new with the character. There's no way that they're just gonna already have lots of currency on different tunes where they can give it to their smaller tunes so they can beef them up quickly. So everyone kind of starts off at zero, and it's kind of a race. And they have like leaderboards, and if you're in one of the top spots, then you get cosmetic stuff, or you kind of get things that no one else will be able to have. They have hardcore, and then they have normal, and then they have standard, which standard also has a hardcore mode. So I'm just gonna be playing a standard prophecy event, and each event kind of tells you what their little specific thing is about the event. Right off the bat, you have Templar, Shadow, which is basically a rogue. You have the Martyr, which is a warrior. You have Ranger, which is a bow user. You have the Duelist, which is a swords person. And then you also have the Witch. Now the thing with all of these different classes is that they all go into a collective skill tree. Now the skill tree, when we get into the game, you'll see it. It can be kind of intimidating at first because it is so massive. But the thing about it though is that it really just gives you a feel of being able to really be creative with your characters and build them in so many different paths and so many different ways. I kind of already have a build in mind, and I'm gonna go with the Witch. Also, there is a Scion class, but since this is a new account, I don't have the Scion class unlocked yet. You get the Scion class by going through the story mode and rescuing the Scion. Alright, I'm gonna do a rundown of the keys and what they do. So if you press Z, you will see that the name of this guy appears above his head, Die in Exile, and that is the same as well for ground items. So if I take this and throw it on the ground, it is displayed, and if I press Z, all that stuff goes away. I like to have this enabled so you can obviously see things. The way you get currency and the way you get items is by drops. So if you don't have it displayed, a lot of times you might miss currency. And always pick up all currency. Your skills are Q through T, and then you can also set up your first click, middle click, and your second click or your right click. When you start off, this is what it looks like. But when you're moving, because you click to move, you left click to move, but it also is to attack. So if you're trying to move and you accidentally highlight over a person, you'll start to auto attack them. All you gotta do is click on the key and you can change it. I like to change that to move, so no matter what I'm doing, it is always giving me my move button, and then my right click can be my neutral attack. And then as you get more skills, you can change it up. And then 1 through 5 over here is going to be like your health pots and your mana flasks. So you want to remember to use those. Also, U opens up your axe because I think there's 3 axe right now. So it's just going to let you know where you're at, and you can also quick travel. But we're in the beginning, so we don't have anything available to us. If you hit I, opens up your inventory. Circle, it opens up your options. And one thing I recommend is going into your input, highlight items and objects. And that's going to be Alt. I change it to G. Nothing's bound to G, so I like to use G. And what that does is this item on the ground, and then if I hit G, then I can look at the stats on it. And pockets are important because all your skills that you get are gems, and you have to place gems in your weapon or in your gear or in order to use that skill. Pick it up. As you can see, I can't pick it up, but if I hold G, highlight it, and pick it up. There's auto attach, so like when you pick up an item, it will automatically attach if there's nothing in that slot. Otherwise it will go into your inventory. This in my inventory takes up 1 row, 3 slots. So just be wary of what you're picking up because your inventory can fill up really quickly. We have P, and I told you that the skill tree was big, and this is what I meant. Like, it looks scary at first because it is massive. Like once you start going, you start to understand more. So right here, this is where I start as a witch. And then there's different areas. I believe this is Templar, Martyr, Scion, which I don't have yet, but Scion's nice because you start right in the middle of the tree and allows you to get anywhere in the tree. And then you have Duelist, I believe this is Ranger, Shadow, Rogue, and that's it. And so you can see you can go around the tree, like as long as you have the path, you can get anywhere in the tree. And we have 0 points right now to spend it, and you get a point per level. And we got H, which gives you kind of like the challenge, prophecy, achievements. Your S key, which is social, you can get in your friends, your guild, whatever you're in. X, which I don't have a secondary weapon setup, but like if you had a secondary weapon setup, you could press your X key and then it would swap your weapons quickly. C gets you into your character information, which character information is going to give you all your different stats of what you have. We have B, which brings up events or PvP. Tab, it will take your map and it'll bring it down in front of you so you can kind of have a better view of where you're at, or you can press it there and just leave it up in the corner. M, which is the microtransaction page, which gives you the ability to shop for those cosmetics. Also, there's a hideout that you can go to, but we'll get into that later as well. So let's start off by starting this quest. I don't want to go through that. We want to, there we go. We just killed that guy and we got some drops. So starting off, since we have nothing, I'm just going to pick up everything. So let's see it. We have a club, which we'll pick up, and then fireball. So right here, we got a gem, and that gem is now our skill. So we have to socket that gem. So we'll press I, we'll go into our inventory, and right here, fireball, and we will drag that up into our blue slot. So the drift club will just sell to a vendor. Down here, we have these scrolls of wisdom, and these will identify an item to make it better. But let's continue moving. I like to go through the map, and I like to kind of do full clears. Here, let me set up my Q to be the fireball. And there we go. So as you can see, the fireball does some damage. It'll light them on fire. I ran out of mana because obviously there's mana. So make sure you conserve on that. Let's make sure we're picking up everything. And we will just kind of hold this down and we will kill these guys. Now, mana regen really helps later on, just so you don't obviously run out of mana so quickly. And a lot of times you want to save up your mana. Let's back off. And we'll just continue to pick up stuff. Also, you can break the barrels to get certain drops. Keep roaming through, making sure we completely, and as you run through the map, it opens up the map. Sometimes you want to go out into the water because mobs will spawn in the water. And you also want to pay attention to your health. If you were in a race, you would probably want to skip past all of this. So that right there, that was me hitting a level. So I just hit level 2. And that means right down here, I have a skill point that I can put in, and we're just going to put a point into spell damage and apply. So we do more damage. You know, like I said, you can hold on to your points and wait a little bit to kind of see which direction you want to go or what you feel like you need or you're lacking. So because I leveled it, I got health. You know, it's something that I like about this game is that if I die, I won't lose my current level, but your experience bar here on the bottom, you can lose your experience bar when you die. So it kind of makes dying, like your deaths actually mean something. If you die, it means something because you're going to lose your experience that you've been working so hard to get. Which can be a massive pain, especially when you're getting into those higher levels, because like obviously level 1 and going through level 1, you'll level way quicker, but once you get up into the higher levels working towards level 100, like it takes a really long time. So it's a lot more satisfying when you do hit your levels because the level just wasn't like handed to you, you know, like you didn't just go into a map and die a bunch of times and then leveled anyways. Like you go into a map and if you die, you lose that experience and then you go back to the beginning of your level. I mean, that's what's nice about it. So if you see someone who's really high level, I mean, they've really worked to get that level. And your person isn't the only thing that levels. Your skills also level as you go. So as you can see right here, this skill is leveling up, and then as it levels up, I think it maxes out at level 20. So it's definitely worth it to use your gems until they hit level 20 to max them out. You can also trade your gems to people, but if you're just starting off, I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would just recommend playing the game and make sure everything is just self-found and save up your currency. There you go, I just leveled it. So we'll click that. The mana cost goes up, but the damage as well goes up. So we'll just make sure that we're killing everything and make sure that we're opening the map completely. Sometimes in events, you'll have like little hidden like caves, like right here might be a cave that gets you into just like a secret area. So always look around. You never know what you're gonna find, and since everything in this game is just self-found through killing and running maps, here is the boss for the area. We'll just try to kite him around a little bit so we don't take damage. Let's dodge that. And there you go, he dropped a bunch of stuff. So let's just pick up stuff. Things will automatically equip, which is nice. Okay, so you can't wear unidentified items yet. So we'll take and we will right click on one of our scrolls of wisdom and we'll come over to the simple robe. We'll click on it and there we go. It is identified. I can now wear it. Now something that you're going to notice is that there's different colored gem slots, but there's also these little links in between the slots. What the links do is, also if I had a third slot here and it was green and then I had it linked to both these blue ones, then if I had, you know, Ice Bolt and Fireball and Greater Multiple Projectile, that means that both of these will have Greater Multiple Projectile. Right here there's no links, so it means that none of these will work together, but I can, you know, have these all, you know, I can have the sockets in there, but they're not linked. And then this isn't identified. And let's identify it and let's throw those on. Alright, so we cleared this whole entire area and now we're going to go into the base here. Right now we are in a common area, which means that there can be a lot of players in this common area. There's like little things, there's little tidbits everywhere of like story and information. Dash spot, which is your inventory. So obviously you can have a lot of inventory. You know, your current inventory is not very big, but whenever you come back you can always put stuff in there. I don't want to put anything in there, I'm just gonna sell it all. So let's go talk to Nessa. She has a quest, she's gonna give you story, and I'm gonna sell my items to her. So I'm just gonna put all this stuff in here just to clear out my bag space. And you'll see as I'm putting stuff in that she'll give us different stuff. Alright, so I have transmutation shards, which after you get a certain amount of shards, you can just turn it into a transmutation, and that's just currency. And then as well, you're getting scrolls of wisdom, which is currency as well. So we're going to accept. We're going to sell all that stuff. You can purchase stuff from her as well. Different amulets, rings, bigger potion slots. But things require levels, so just, you know, make sure that before you buy it, you read that, you know, are you the right level. That's something to pay attention to. I wouldn't buy any currency from a vendor. I would just go out and find your own currency. There's a page 2 which you can buy different skills, and they cost 1 scroll of wisdom. I always make sure to go through and like read all the current. You don't have to read it, but at least click on all the current stuff with each person. Alright, so Navali is part of the event, so when you talk to her, it's just going to be stuff, view your prophecies. Alright, so we don't have any of the prophecies yet because we haven't collected the coins, and we got a reward, and we get to choose what we want. So you can, you know, get raise zombie, which is gonna raise up some minions to help you, and that's a whole build in itself. Is in like a necromancer, lightning tendrils, which it's just a lightning attack, I guess. Magma orb is a projectile. Spell AoE kind of sounds like it's like a bouncing orb of magma that does splash damage. And then freezing pulse is a projectile. And you gotta be wary of the terminology at the top, because certain gems affect certain things. Like greater multiple projectile only works on spells that have, you know, projectile in the title. So you got to make sure that you are reading. So greater multiple projectile would work on that, on freezing pulse. It would work on magma orb, but it wouldn't work on lightning tendrils because it doesn't say that it's this projectile. And it wouldn't work on Ray Zombie because it's as well not a projectile. Let's go Magma Orb as the reward. You can buy and sell through him as well. This guy right next to me, that's someone's character. And as you can see, they have some black wings. That's just a micro transaction that he purchased. So in game, you know, the little micro transactions, they're fun. They, you know, like this person's got microtransactions on as well. It's just fun. It just gives your character a look. So, you know, you can get weapon effects, armor effects. You can change the way your skills look. You can leave footprints. So it's really, you know, allows you just to have fun. And it's a way for the company to make money since they give you guys a free game. Right here, the gray quests are going to be your completed quests that you have done, and then these full colored quests are going to be the ones that you haven't done yet. And so they want us to, we have to go over to this highlighted area, so we have to go into this next area and then find our way to the island, and then we have to go find the medicine chest. And since I've played the game, the medicine chest is protected by a boss. So when we get over there, we'll have to fight that boss. He does a lot of frost damage, so just you gotta be careful. Try to clear mobs before you get to the boss. And I'm just going to fast forward here. And so I just wanted to quick jump back on here, and I just killed a person, and I got this thing called a silver coin to drop. And for this event right now, you're supposed to be collecting these silver coins. So if you join in and you're doing the event, make sure that you're picking up the silver coins, because those are just things that you need for the event. Before I get any further to the island, I just wanted to show you that there's these things called waypoints, and we'll run over the waypoint, we'll click on it, and what the waypoint is, it gives you a quick way to travel. And it's very useful because right now, before I even go to the island, I'm going to want to clear my bag because I really don't have any more space to pick up anything else. And you don't really want to go into fresh areas with a bag full of stuff. So it's just better to kind of go back to base and either sell or put stuff in your bank. Alright, so we have made it to the island, we've made it to the coast, and I am currently... What am I? I'm currently level 3, but I'm about to hit level 4, and I have picked up a new spell called Freezing Pulse, and it just shoots out short range burst of frost damage. The upcoming boss for this island, in order to get our stuff, he does cold damage. So this little shield with 6% cold resistance, it will come in handy to deal with them. And I'm sure the boss has cold resistance, so I don't think that my freezing pulse will do much damage, but we do have fire damage, which is useful. So we're gonna make our way, and I am going to kind of just kill stuff as we go. I just hit a level, so that's nice. The nice thing about cold damage, so as you see, fire damage can set a mob on fire, which they'll burn for damage, or you can do a freezing pulse, which will slow or even freeze them in place. So sometimes having that is good for kiting, and sometimes they'll just explode just like that, so that's nice. Our first point went into spell damage, our second point into spell damage, and again we're going into spell damage. So we're going to continue. Oh. That's nice for clear, and it's not too mana hungry. So it's a nice spell. You can hold it down and you can just rip through people. There's our first gold item. Oh, there we go. Alright. And again, like I said, there's little things that you can click on and it will give you story. I clicked off the story just because I don't want to hear it. So there are different colored people as well. As you can see, these guys have a little blue glow to them, and these mobs are going to be a little bit harder. And if I scroll over them, life regen and undead. So those are what those mobs have as far as abilities. Ta-da. Other things to pay attention to, like right here, this is the tricolor, and they're all linked up. So this helm in the beginning will probably be something that you want to pick up, and then we'll swap because this is not connected and it's just two color. Over here in the corner, when you're leveling up things, make sure to pay attention to the requirements for it, because say the level up was for like, say if I could level this up, I could click on it, level up, and the requirement is no longer level 2 that it requires me to have it, but it's level 5. Right now I'm level 4, meaning if I upgraded that and it hit level and it said I had to be level 5, well, right there I can't use the gem anymore. And so you kind of like you make it so you can't use it. Say it required like 20 strength, and if I go to I don't have 20 strength, so then I wouldn't be able to use it. So always make sure that you look at the requirements for what is required in order to use an item, because that will really make you mad if you can't use your item that you work so hard to level. I really like this ability. Alright, so I'm out of mana. I spammed that too much. And before we get to the boss, obviously we're going to want to make sure that we have full mana, full health. So let's go click on this guy. More currency. And amulet, which gives us mana regen, which is nice. It works for us. So make sure that you're getting the stats that you need. Yeah, and there you go. So let's pick up our currency. Break open those bottles. Like I said, people will appear from the water, so it's always good to kind of like make your way towards the water. You'll get to a point when you're leveling, if you're going witch, where you will have enough mana regen to just completely spam your abilities non-stop. So in the beginning, be a little bit cautious, but you'll get a feel for when you're able to just non-stop spam your abilities. A good thing to do is to always kind of like highlight your mobs to make sure that they don't have resistances or if they're weak against something, so you know what skills to be using. Now when I get over here, there's the boss. So let's, what does he got? Extra cold damage and casts Glacial Cascade. Now whatever the bosses can cast, you can cast as well. So I'm just gonna kite him because that Glacial Cascade is gonna do a lot of damage. And I think I'll just throw fireballs at him, because the Magma Orb is not gonna, it's AoE and it's not gonna do as much damage. So let's kite him. I don't even think my ice ability, I don't think, is really doing any damage, so I'm going to try to avoid using that. There we go. We killed him. And right here, green, it's the quest item for the medicine chest. And let's go ahead and collect the medicine chest because it is a quest item, so it is the most important item that we need to collect because it still takes up space in your inventory. So always make sure that you can pick up your quest item. So we got the quest item, so we need to go back to town. But so I really do like to keep this on move only, just because I hate when I'm moving around and then I just like highlight something and then I start attacking it. Doesn't look like there's any more mobs, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and I'm just going to pick up items until I am full. So let's just pick up these items.
Too much clutter.
Too much clutter. She'll say it, throw it on the ground. Let's see here. We have, okay, so the helms are usually 4 slots, right? And we have 4 slots, but not in square. So let's move some of our inventory around and we should be able to pick this up now. There we go. I can do one of 2 things right now. I can either use a portal scroll and that will immediately it will create a portal and then I can just go into town, or I can just manually run all the way back to the entrance, go through the entrance. I can go find one of those little the little portals on the ground and take that we discovered just a couple of minutes ago. So I'm gonna save my portal scrolls and I'm just going to run back myself. So that is what I'm gonna do, and I will see you guys back in a little bit. Alright, so real quickly, I just wanted to show you guys something that I forgot to show you while I was in town. You can go up to this thing and it's called the notice board, and the notice board, if you click on it, is going to show you parties that are currently going on, and some of them they have requirements as far as like a password to get in case it's just for friends, but otherwise you can join in and it's going to show you the level range of the party, because like if I'm level 3 and I'm partying with someone who's level 30, I'm not going to get very much experience because of the level difference. It will definitely slow you down. So sometimes you don't want to go into groups if like there's a humongous level difference. But yeah, you know, like you got a group 5 out of 6 players, it's almost a full group, levels 4 to 9, and they're doing Act 1 from the start, and they're gonna rush through it, and or they're gonna go through it. You got people who are rushing. You can like find a group in case you're stuck in a spot. You can even create a party. You can say what you need help with, and people will join, and you can get help that way. So it's definitely a quick way to get some help if you're stuck. So I just wanted to show you guys that quick little tip. But here's the waypoint. I'm going to go back to town, and I think I'll wrap it up for episode 1. I think I kind of clearly explained how to play the game as far as an intro level, and then when we come back, we'll kind of get more in depth. This is an episode of Things and Stuff. My name is Matt. This is Path of Exile, a free-to-play game. Go give them some love. You can get it either through the website, which I'll have a link down below, or you can get it through Steam, and then you can log in through your Steam account and make it real easy. And I'll see you guys later.